How many people came here tonight to hear about the mark of the beast? Truthfully, raise your hand. Well, part of it. Okay. Okay. Oh, but you came here because you heard about that. And there's a lot of people watching online that haven't watched before. I know there are many theories out there about what the mark of the beast is. Scanners, social security numbers, NFC, RFID chips, list goes on. I could name a dozen things. Arabic symbols look like 666, and it's saying, praise Allah, do this, do that. There are so many theories out there. There's people that are talking, they're saying that they had visions, that it was chips underneath the hand or in the body. Then I have people telling me, hey, it's just imaginary. That's why John wrote about an imaginary mark, okay? But, they have all these theories. Because the problem is, they're just that. They're just theories. When I died and I was in heaven, part of what I saw was the mark of the beast. I saw it being applied. I saw it being applied to the right hand and to the forehead. And I'm going to explain that in just a moment. Let's read what the Bible says about the mark of the beast. It's very simple, very short. Let's just go to Revelation chapter 13. I'll wait a minute for people that have to turn there or take their phones and go to 13. Verses 16 through 18. Revelation 13, starting in verse 16. It's talking about the second beast that already brought the first beast back to life. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave. Does that cover everybody? All right. Oh, middle class. It didn't say that. Sorry. I think it meant middle class too. I'm sorry. God gave me a sense of humor. I can't help it. It also forced all the people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands and on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, or humanity's number. That number is 666. Depending on what version of the Bible you read, it all says the same thing. The thing that it talks about is a mark. There's a mark on the right hand and on the forehead. All right. Why would John say it was a mark? Because the little RFID chip is not a mark. All right? It's not. I don't care how you look at it. It's not a mark. Do you know what they had to mark people before Jesus was born? Thousands of years before? They tattooed people. Now, anybody has a tattoo, don't think this is speaking about tattoos being bad. That's not it. I saw a lot of people out there going, phew. Tattoos aren't going to send you to hell. Well, unless you worship them. Then you're going there. They marked people with tattoos. People had markings that were slaves. They'd mark them. Not only would they cut the earlobe and do different things like that, but they also put marks on them. They'd take a pin and stick it down there, and they had some kind of pre-ink, some kind of dye that they put into them, and they would do that, and they would mark them. Have you noticed that over the last, well, it's been the last 50 years, but the last 15 years, how many more people get tattoos and how many people accept tattoos? I can tell you that when I was a young guy, teenager, in my early 20s, if you had tattoos and you came to a church, you better have them covered. Because if you didn't, everybody was up there praying for you because you were going to hell. I'm serious. And if, God forbid, you got called into the ministry, because you'd be looking like wearing robes and tight stuff, and, if you had any tattoos any place where anybody could see it, and you weren't allowed to ever wear a short sleeve shirt in public, and at your home, if somebody came to visit you, had to grab a long sleeve and put it on, I'd hate to live in Phoenix. I used to live there. That's tough. But today, it's accepted. It's norm. People have tattoos. Some of them are cute. Some of them are funny. Some of them are gross and ugly. But they have tattoos. It's because it's become accepted. What else has become accepted? Piercings. Seriously, think about what's happened in the last 15 years. I remember I used to go in the grocery store, and everybody that worked in the grocery store were clean cut. Now I go to the grocery store, I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman behind the counter. I'm not sure what's going on. People have earlobes down to here with big things in it. That's their choice. They chose to do that. They want to do that. That's between them and God. God's not going to condemn them for the way that they look. God doesn't send you to hell because of how you look. If he did, I wouldn't be back. Believe me. But I'm just saying, if you think about these things, this has become the accepted norm. The reason why the mark of the beast hasn't been able to be understood and has had all these crazy theories for so many years is because people have tried to come up with some theory that would work out, but yet it's so simple, and as the time progresses, you'll see it happen. I'm going to tell you about it right now. The mark of the beast is a tattoo, but not like you think. It's not the normal tattoo. It is not one that you can see with the naked eye. Has anybody ever heard of invisible tattoos? Look it up on the internet, invisible tattoos. It's not white. It's an ink that they put in that can only be revealed with black light, but it goes down deep into the skin. And it's still done with needles. But when you get the mark of the beast, it'll be done with a laser. Not only will it be the invisible ink, but it'll also have metallic attached to it. Because this is what it's going to be. It's going to be on your right hand, on your forehead. You can have it either one or both. It'll depend on several things. One, it'll depend on your age. It'll depend on your body condition. It'll depend whether or not you have a right arm or not. True, yeah. Now, you think about this. Back in John's days, people didn't lose right arms necessarily all the time. But in this world, with all the wars and everything that we've had going on, what's happened? People have been overseas, been in wars, and they lose their right arm. But I can tell you this, you're not going to be doing much without a forehead. Okay? So, you got one or the other, or both. Somebody get a kick out of that. Well, if you don't have a forehead, you're not going to be doing a whole lot anyways. So the mark of the beast is going to be lasered into you. But what it's going to do is not going to be the number 666. It's not what you think. It's not going to be 666. But it's going to represent that. I can tell you that it is marks. And then, have you ever looked at let me see if I don't have one with me here. You got a credit card? This is my wife. I can ask her for a credit card. It's got a chip on it. All right. Cover up the numbers. I know the camera's not going to be on that close. But you see that little chip that's on there? Okay. That little chip contains a lot of information. That little chip has all kinds of information on it. It can tell you just about everything you want to know. Well, when you get 3 different chips imprinted, but it's not stuck underneath the skin, it's attached to your skin. And people are going to go, well, your skin dies. Yeah, but that doesn't go away. Your skin dies on tattoos. Do you still have a tattoo? Okay. So it's going to be there, but it's invisible. You just put your hand underneath the light, and it shows up. If you don't have a hand, take the thing, put it up to your head, almost like the scanner at the store. But it's not a scanner at the store, don't worry. People are going to, if they move a scanner at you, no, I don't have it. Always like it. You ever go to the trade shows or anything like that when they come, you go in and you wear these badges and they come in and they go beep. You know, they take that. When they do that to me, I always go, oh! They jump about 10 feet to go, oh, I'm sorry, did I hurt you? I don't know. Got to have fun with people. So when they scan you and they look at this, put your hand underneath that thing, the first mark closest to the thumb is going to be all the information about you. When you were born, who you are, everything. Everything about you. Ethnicity, everything that it needs to have about you is going to have about you. The second mark in there is going to discuss all the things that happened in your life up to the time you got the mark. It'll discuss the different things that they know about you in the world, not just the United States, in the world, because this is going to be a worldwide thing. It's not just going to be the U.S. I know a lot of people think it's just the U.S. No. Mark of the Beast is for the whole world. The other chip is going to be the authorization as to what you can buy, what you can't buy, whether you can sell something or not have the ability to sell something. It'll have the businesses, the things, whatever you do, it'll have all of that in there, all that information. Then there's other marks going down your hand. You've seen barcodes, right? Aren't those the funniest looking things, but yet they know those little lines mean something? Well, they mean something. But it's not barcodes, all right? It looks like barcodes, but it's different. It is different. There are some fat little lines and some skinny little lines and some lines that are perforated, but they're down there. There's a significance to it because each one of those, and they're really not chips, but each one of those little things that are imprinted on you, those three little ones, they contain information about you. 666. That's the mark of man. That's the number for man. Each thing is describing something about man or woman, about who you are, and what you can do. I know this seems like people are going, I never heard this before. Don't feel bad. I didn't either till I was in heaven. And I saw this, and I watched it. When it gets applied, you don't go to a hospital to get it applied or anything like that. They will have places set up. The government will have it set up. You will receive information as to when you're supposed to go there, and you're supposed to get this done. And you will go up there, and you'll have a registration card, and it'll have your information on it. Better than the birth certificate. You don't need birth certificates. You don't need. By the way, it does have your medical records. Everything, medical record, you name it. Everything you can imagine is all imprinted in your hand.